if you're watching this video, you are learning how to use Google Sketchup and you're possibly drawing your model on Google Sketchup. To open up Google Sketchup, find your icon, looks like this one here, double click on it, and when it opens you'll find this Learning Center opens automatically. Fantastic resource in there to teach you different things, but for the purposes of today we're just going to exit out of that. Now my Google SketchUp opens without a person there, but sometimes you'll find that yours has got a lady or a man, and what you need to do if you want to get rid of that person, and this is the same technique you use to delete any feature, is you left click on it using the select tool and then press delete on your keyboard, and that will delete the person. If you make a mistake, the same thing applies. Now at the moment I want to talk about two areas. The first area is this area down here, the bottom. This is where all our lengths and dimensions are going to appear when we draw them. And the other thing is this part here which says top. Now we can change the view at any time by going to camera, standard views, and obviously it's in top now. We can put it into an ISO projection. We can put it into a front projection. It doesn't look too different at the moment, but once you start drawing an object, it definitely will look different. So I'm going to start off with an ISO projection. I'm going to start drawing the base of my model. I'm going to use the rectangle tool here, and I always start my drawings from the origin. So I'm going to left click, and I'm going to drag my cursor out. I haven't left clicked again, I've just left clicked once and dragged it out. And now I'm going to type in the size of my base, which is 300, 300. So it's saying that along the red axis is 300 and along the green axis is 300. I'm going to press enter, and there's my first rectangle drawn. Now I'm just using the scroll button on my mouse to zoom in. You can use that on your keypad as well, just move your finger up. Now it's really important that the cursor is where it will zoom into. So you can see if I put my cursor down here, I zoom into that part. If I put it up here, it's going to zoom in. So now that is actually a square. To prove it to you, I'm going to change my view again. I'm going to go top view. Now there's the top view of it. I don't like to draw in top view, but it's to your own personal choice. I like to go back to ISO so I can see what's going on. Now I'm going to use this button here, which is called my push-pull button. I'm going to move my push-pull button over the area. Now, because all the sides are joined, it's a shade of grey there, which means that I can push-pull that. I'm going to left-click once. I'm going to drag it up, and my base for my model is about 12 millimeters thick. Have a look in the bottom right-hand corner again. It says 12 mil. Press enter, and there's my base drawn. Now this is where you start to add some features of your own here, and there's lots of different tools here. You can start with a circle. Just say you've got something that you want to represent as a circle. It might be a basketball hoop, or it might be a hole that you want to push inwards to make a lake. And notice when I move it onto here, it's saying that it wants to draw on the face. That's what I want it to do. And I'm going to left click, and I might just draw a circle here. It might be a lake, and I'll push and pull that. Now, so notice how that's now selecting itself individually. And this time I'm going to push it in, but I'm only going to go in a couple of mil, so 3 mil. And you might have your feature drill that out. That might be your lake that you fill with PVA glue, and then it becomes like a lake. To put a building in is really easy. Again, using the rectangle tool again, I can put a rectangle in, push and pull that, and I know I might go up 150 this time for a building, and there's my building I can put in there. So you can do a range of things. The pencil tool is a really good one because you don't have to keep your shape as a rectangle or a perfect circle. With the pencil, you can draw whatever shape you want to draw, as long as the first and the last line connect. Sometimes you've got to zoom in a bit. And now, because I've connected that, I'm going to use camera zoom extend so I can see what I'm doing. I can now push and pull that. Okay, so you've got to just make sure the first and last line connect. It becomes one entity, and then we can push pull that. Now let's have a look at this now. I can use this button here, which is called my orbit button, and I can grab and drag so that I can see what's going on and what I've created. Pretty interesting there, yeah? That's 3D modeling itself. I'll just zoom out a little bit. Now I'm going to draw, I'm going to show you how to render, and rendering is very easy. It's using this paint bucket here. And I'm going to use my paint bucket, and I can choose whatever material I want. There's a whole range there, and the way Google SketchUp works is if you want to, you can download off the internet, which I'll show you a little bit later as well. I'm just going to use these ones for the time being. I'll use stone, let's say, because I want to represent stone on the ground, and I can choose, let's say, this stone here, and then I just click on what I want to fill as stone. Sometimes you have to zoom in to click on it, and I might want to put water in there, so I go to water, and I want to put water into there. Clicked on the wrong one then. We'll just zoom in again. Let's put water in there this time. That's beautiful. And we'll go back and change that to stone again, which was that one there, I think, wasn't it? And there we go. So we can add all different features. Now, when you're doing this, remember you've got to orbit around, and using this button here, and make sure you do all the faces, because these faces haven't been done yet, nor has this one, and nor has the bottom. So make sure you orbit right around and change the colours. Alright, I'm just zooming back in so I can get my thing into my drawing into the window. And now let's have a look at what else I can do. I can also use this button here. Just say I want to annotate my drawing, I can put some dimensions on there, so I can left click on there and left click on there, and gives me a dimension. Alternatively, I can just click on a line and drag out. Okay, so I can go between 2 points, or I can left click on a line. Okay, and they're dimensions, so it's automatically remembering the sizes that we've put in. I think we put in here 150, and there you go, it's remembered 150. This tool's a really important one too, because you can actually start to name things. So I could put in there that that's my water feature. So sometimes there'll be things that you can't draw because of the difficulty and the detail. So you can use part of the program called 3D Warehouse, which allows you to get 3D models off Google. You need to be connected to the internet. So something like a person. Let's say this one here, 3D person male, and I'll download straight into Google Sketchup. Yes, I do want to move its location. Now the only problem is it's going to come in at full scale, so I'm going to have to scale it down. As you can all see, it's way too big, but I'll just move it over to here and left click there, and then I'm going to go camera zoom extents, and I want to just left click off so it doesn't move anymore, and I'm going to scale it down. So I'm going to go to tools, scale, and I'm going to scale it right down like so. Notice I did that in 2 parts, and then I'm going to go zoom extents again so I can see it, and this time I want to move him. So notice where that little pink dot is going to position it where I want it to be, which is on my screen, on my on my base, and then I can just obviously scale it down further if I need to, depending on how big you want to go. I reckon that looks pretty good. I'm going to left click on that and lock it in position. Turn around, and there's my person standing there on my page. And obviously once I put a drawer on there and stuff like that, like onto my building and some windows, it'll be a really good looking drawing. Right, that's 3D Warehouse. Now once you've got your drawing done, let's get it so that it's in to a good position. Let's say like that there, so we can see our man and everything like that. We can export this as a 2D graphic, as a JPEG, to Word. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Word now, and before I do that I'm going to actually export it. So I'm going to go export 2D graphic, and you can do as many views as you want. And for this one I'm just going to put in there, this might be my ISO of my model. Export, and then once I open Word I can insert a picture, and it was from my documents, and it was the ISO of the model, and there you go, it's in Word. I can resize that, I can crop it if I need to, probably don't need to there, because it's already to a nice scale. I can probably take it down a little bit if you wanted to, like so, click off, and there's my model. Now I could do a top, front and a side view, an orthogonal drawing, or I could leave it as an ISO, and obviously once I put all my colours in there, it'll look really effective. Hope that helps.